This is Shawn and Sue's podcast on 92.7 WOBM.
The Ocean County Breakfast Show with Shawn Michaels and Sue Moss.
Ocean County's best variety. 92.7 WOBM.
It varies by market. Installation offer valid on laminates over $1.50 a square foot with minimum purchase of 250 square feet.
92.7 WOBM, Shawn Sue with you Friday morning. Nancy Remy's in with us, and I got to say, I was out last night for the, we're on the board with the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore, and their corporate leadership council was together. And I was out there for that last night. A lot of people were asking about the clown incident with Sue yesterday.
Yes. That scary clown.
Wow. When you look back at that picture, that truly was Sue's reaction to that clown getting right up on top of her, because before we knew it was our friend Bud McCormick.
Right.
We had no idea who it was, and he
and
really...
look at it. Look at the nails, and it has claws, and
the teeth.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. But the best is your expression, Sue.
Well, it's the truth.
Because you were like, ah!
It wasn't set up. I truly hate clowns, and I truly hate parallel parking. As simple as that. But let's hope you were just talking about the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
It would be really cool if I could wear a tux, and it could be sparkly. Like a sparkly vest, right, Nance?
we were
With a
talking
top
about that
hat.
before. Why
I
not?
really like that idea.
Why not?
All right.
So that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
I don't know if the tuxedo shop has that. We may have to go to a...
Has my size?
We may... No.
Hold on.
I didn't say that.
Was that it? What he was saying?
No.
Talking about the sparkly
The
vest.
I say we may have to go to a costume
I
shop
don't
for
know.
that.
They have a lot of choices.
They have a
these
lot
days.
of choices.
Yeah.
Guys like different things. Yes.
All right, maybe.
I think so.
I've never seen one at a tux shop, but I haven't been
How
there
about
in
a blue
while.
tux? Wouldn't mind.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah.
You get like the powder blue back in the
Love,
70s. Nancy,
love.
did your prom date wear a powder blue tux?
He absolutely did with ruffles.
I knew it. I knew it.
Ruffles.
Last night they had a movie they showed last night at the meeting in which I was playing guitar in a blue tux with ruffles.
Love.
It was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
That is cool.
And it was so popular that I didn't even have a say in the matter. He told me, I'm wearing this.
I love it.
And it was
Can't beat
eggshell
it.
blue.
Yeah, yeah.
Robin's egg blue.
My
You
brother had a
can't
car
beat
in that
it.
color too. Back in the day, it was just amazing.
God,
That
I
color
love
was
it.
big. Anyway, off to the highways we go. We'll put Sue in that powder blue tux, a little retro look.
Or a red one would be neat.
Yeah, a little crushed velvet.
Oh.
There you go. All right, here's Nancy with the Ocean County traffic watch.
Here's our scene for travel.
92.7 WOBM. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We're talking donuts today. What do you think? National Donut Day. Where's the best donut shop?
I think the best donut shop is Opco's Donuts.
A lot of folks.
You bet.
Fisher Boulevard, right here in Toms
Yes.
River.
Loving those Opcos.
Do you have a favorite you always grab when you go to Opco's?
I like their sugar raised and their glazed.
Yeah,
Their
according
croissants are real good.
to our survey, the glazed donut is the #1 donut in America, according to Ranker.com. So you're right on target. What's your name?
Opco's has good. My name is Jessica.
And you're from Toms River?
Yes, I live in Toms River.
Hey, Jess. All right, pick up those donuts today.
Thank you.
Enjoy, love.
Have a good day. A lot of folks love Opco's. You could tell us your favorite donut. Give us a call or log on to WOBM.com. But if you want to, pick up the phone.
You bet. 732-237 WOBM. We love talking to you.
92.7 WOBM. Shawn Sue with you Friday morning. Time now for the breakfast dish. Let's begin with politics. Governor Christie got the news, the bad news. He got bumped off the top spot, the top debate, down to the minor debate.
Right.
The one that's on in the afternoon before next Tuesday's big GOP debate. So that's not good news.
No.
By the way, Lindsey Graham and George Pataki,
they're off, right?
They were removed from any debating now because they're polling so low. They're
Does
done.
that mean they're not in the race anymore?
Well, it means that they're in the race, but they're polling so low, like below 1%, that they won't even be on in the afternoon debate. But if you want to see Governor Christie, you're going to have to watch in the afternoon because that's when he's on the minor debate now. Because he's polling, I guess, somewhere less than 2%, something like that.
All right, 2 big movies out this weekend. The Peanuts movie, Charlie Brown and the Gang, and 007 Spectre.
Yeah, look for Spectre to be number one.
When was the last time 007 was out?
2-3 years ago?
Was it?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. Skyfall was the last one.
All right.
Back to politics. Donald Trump tomorrow night on SNL. Biggest numbers for SNL of the season,
Oh,
you
it's
think?
going to be big.
Yeah.
And I guarantee all the candidates will be watching. They are saying they won't be, but I guarantee they will.
Yeah. So Donald Trump tomorrow night will all be watching because, it's almost like, what is the expression? It's like a train wreck.
You can't miss it.
You can't turn your way
You
from
can't
looking
turn
at
away.
it.
Yeah.
So
it's
we'll see.
unfortunate,
So
but
we'll see.
can't.
Donald Trump is one of those type of people that just has, gets people, curious.
You
So we'll
bet.
see what happens. And finally, Cappy and Slip, Sue. Cappy,
Sure.
who is our mascot
Mascot.
here at WOBM. You could check out Cappy. He's right on our logo. He's been there since day one. And the adventures of Cappy and his friend Slip, the cartoon, back with another edition out at our website.
Where's that? On the web? All right.
On the website.
Check it out.
At WOBM.com. Old-fashioned funny, Sue. Comics at WOBM. 92.7 WOBM. Good morning, Shawn Sue with you. The human leg at 526, 36 degrees. Time for the breakfast dish, and this just in. Ben Carson has found life on Neptune, Sue.
What?
Yes, he says he has found life on Neptune, an entire civilization where he went to college on planet Neptune. Wow, talk about a weekend,
no.
Sue, for Ben Carson.
He sort
Wow.
of exploded live on TV, didn't he?
Friday night going into the weekend, it was like all you could get on Twitter. It was the best entertainment of the night. In fact, I didn't even watch TV Friday night.
It was all
I just sat and watched Twitter. People were tweeting, you've got to put, CNN on because Ben Carson is losing his mind right on national TV.
Wow.
What was going on with all that? I mean, I guess...
Yeah, well, I guess it started Friday afternoon, maybe Thursday night when the book and things in that book, and then things just sort of unraveled for Mr. Ben Carson.
Yeah.
I don't know. How are his poll
inaccuracies-
numbers?
I don't know. I haven't seen the latest.
All right.
Supposedly taking a little bit of a dip, though. But the thing about, I guess, the pyramids and not going to West Point, then the thing with his mother with a hammer.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
it just never ended. And but it has made for interesting TV this political season. Him and Trump and
Oh, for
Bernie
goodness
Sanders. I mean, these guys could have their own television show, do you think?
Could Daniel Craig as Bond? He could be running right now, #1 at the box office.
Well, he is #1 at the box.
Yeah, he is.
But, he blew away the box office. Peanuts did good, though, over the
Yeah.
weekend. They were respectable considering that Bond did so well.
Yeah, they brought in 45 million. Spectre brought in 73 million. So they did very well. And I'm sure next weekend they'll do well, too.
Yeah. Donald Trump, speaking of the election on SNL on Saturday night,
Right.
highest numbers since 2011 for
Get
SNL.
out.
Some of it was, there was a few funny moments. Then there were some just horrible, just terrible skits. But he's not a comedian, so I guess you have to take it with a grain of salt. But the Drake video where he was dancing, I thought the Larry David thing where he came out and was heckling him during his monologue was funny. He did a Twitter skit in which he didn't do anything in the skit, but he was just tweeting about all the other actors and basically being upset with them.
Right.
It was pretty funny too, but anyway.
So I have a feel-good story.
You do?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
A 9-year-old Virginia girl is asking for donations for kids affected by the South Carolina flooding instead of her own birthday presents.
Wow.
So good for her. Emma Garthwaite in Virginia asking for things for kids from that flooding that happened just a month ago.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, instead of her
they were
birthday
devastated
present.
down there by the flooding.
Way
that they
to
had.
be. Kids with big hearts love it.
Very cool. Very cool. Maybe we'll see if we get some information where you could even send in a
Send
donation.
down and see how you can help.
All right, over the weekend, Giants, Eagles, and Jets, all winners this weekend. So
Wow,
how
Jets are
amazing
too
was that?
good.
How amazing was that?
Love it.
It was actually a good day yesterday because I was sitting there thinking to myself, it doesn't happen very often. The Giants won, the Devils won, the Knicks won.
Wow.
And the
Eagles won.
Also, no, I wouldn't count that. The Red Bulls won their first round playoff series,
soccer.
so now they're moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. So now they're one series away from going to the MLS Cup.
All right.
So there you go. So every single team I like won yesterday.
That's
A
exciting,
total
Shawn.
rarity.
Oh,
a
my
total rarity.
God.
May not happen again till I don't know.
Wow.
I'll have to ask Ben Carson when that'll happen again.
Jeez, don't
We'll
ask
be
him
back.
anything.
We'll check out news, traffic, and weather next on WOBM.
How do you celebrate?
That's good, because Santander Bank is giving you more reasons to celebrate. See, right now, Santander...
92.7 WOBM, Chrissy Hine of the Pretenders. 9:27, 41 degrees. So over the weekend we watched Pitch Perfect 2. Have you seen it yet?
I did. I loved it.
Yeah, did you like it as much as the first? I didn't think it was as good as...
probably not.
I didn't think it was as good as the first.
No, but I did love it.
It was a cute movie, though. I mean, a lot of the all the characters
All of them.
basically back from the first one.
It was
so.
great.
It had some funny moments, though. But it was okay. I
Very
would
cute.
recommend it for a rental. Use that Redbox thing all the time.
Oh, yeah. They're
You know.
good. What is
Yeah.
it, like $1.42?
Something like that.
I think it is.
Something
yeah.
like that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, remember the days, of the big video stores. You
I
used to have your
miss
memberships and things.
I miss Blockbuster.
Yeah, you used to like
West
to go in
Coast
and look around.
Video.
And, go through them all.
That was
They
fun.
just
It
don't
was like,
exist anymore.
No, it was like a Friday night ritual.
Yeah.
It was just great. Going there,
going
picking out a movie.
And you'd always have a deal, like if you had a membership, you had to have your membership, and if you did,
Yep.
you get a deal, like, you get 2 or 3.
They always had popcorn sitting
you
there.
get a DVD, and then you get one free or
I
whatever.
miss 'em.
But anyway, but yeah, Pitch Perfect 2 was fun, and the girls are back. The what was it? The Barnum Bellas.
Yes.
That's what they're known as.
Fun.
All right, we'll be back. We'll take a look at weather. It's coming up next. When's the rain coming?
Oh,
Dan
boy.
Zarrow has got the details.
92.7 WOBM, Ocean County's #1 at-work station.
92.7 WOBM, Shawn and Sue with you. And on this day, November 10th, 1969, all of our childhoods changed for the better, Sue.
Everybody wash your ears.
Yes, that's right, Sue. It is the anniversary of Sesame Street
We all
starting
started
out.
washing our ears.
Yes.
Wow.
46 years ago, Sesame Street debuted on PBS. So, and of course, all of us watching it at some point. Did Abby watch it when she was a kid?
Yes. Yeah.
When she was a kid.
Very cute. Yeah.
Now that she's all
Now that
grown
she's
up.
an adult.
Now she's an adult. But when she was little,
Yes.
she watched it, right?
Yes. And there are times where she'll still put it on. I mean, you never know. Abby Cadabby is a real cutie patootie, so
Yeah.
we'll put her on sometimes.
And, they still changing things and, making news these days on Sesame Street by adding various updated characters to their,
You bet.
puppets and characters and the people on screen
And
and,
their
so forth.
first
So
autistic
that's
character.
what I mean. Yeah, they continue
amazing.
to change with the times, I guess.
It's great.
And keep kids entertained but educated as well. So happy birthday going out today to Sesame Street, Sue. Who was your favorite on the show?
I always loved
I always liked the
Snuffleupagus.
Count. You like Snuffleupagus?
Count, yes.
Snuffleupagus, really.
He was always my favorite.
Oh, big bird.
I know, yeah. But my thing is, could
moved
everyone
real
else see
slow.
Snuffy, or was it just Big Bird because he was
Just Big Bird.
Bird's
It was just Big
imaginary friend?
Bird. Just Big Bird.
Yeah, Snuffy was great.
Whenever he talked about him, people were like, who? What?
Yeah.
Hello, bird.
You like the Count. I thought you'd like Oscar the Grouch.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just thought you would.
No.
You like the Count.
Count. 1, 2. How long till I explode from Sue's craziness? 3, 2, 1. Hey, what?
The Ocean County Breakfast Show, 92.7 WOBM.
Nancy Remy is in with us this morning, and real quick, I got to tell you a funny story. We always order a certain dish from a certain takeout place because they do it the best. You guys probably have things like that where you get your best, takeout food from a certain place. Anyway, so my wife is ordering takeout this certain dish that we like from the certain place that we like. All right, I get to I say, you order it, I'll go get it. So I drive over and I get it or whatever, and I walk in, and the first thing they say to me was, well, we never got your order. I don't remember talking to her. And I said, they're like, but we'll get it for you. Don't worry, we'll get it for you. So they put it together, and I'm there for a while, and waiting for it. But I figured I'm there, I might as well get it. So I get it, and I bring it home. I get home, and my wife says to me, they're calling because you haven't come and pick up the takeout yet.
No way.
So I said to her, well, did you call the usual place?
No way.
But she didn't. She got distracted when she called, and she called the other place that we sometimes get from.
Oh.
So now I got 2 dishes of the same thing. Now I got to go to the other place because I can't call them up and order this and have it made and then stiff them, right? I can't do
Leftovers.
that. So anyway, I had to go over and pick up that. I get to the second place to pick up the dish, and they don't have it. They don't have any record of it being phoned in, because at first I gave our home phone, but I didn't realize my wife had used her cell phone to call it in. So finally, I get it. And anyway, needless to say, I spent about $60 on shrimp this weekend.
And we're all going to Shawn's house for dinner. We got leftovers.
I had more shrimp than Carter's got pills. So anyway, that was it. Wasn't that crazy? I was all over the place.
I like it.
Well, yeah, I couldn't stiff them on the other one, but anyway, it was lunch the next day. What?
Sorry, I made a mistake.
All right, Nancy Ramey's in with the Ocean County Traffic Watch. I'm glad you're honest about that. So every takeout place, if you hear from Sue Mall, don't take the order.
Run.
Here's Nancy with the Ocean County Traffic Watch.
All right, we've got traffic at a...
Anything going on for your Monday? Anything exciting?
Well,
I was going to say, wait, why are we saying goodbye to Nancy?
Well, she's got one
The
more
days
report
are
to go,
going.
but this will be the last time we
all
talk
right.
to her, yeah.
Yeah, I already did a lot of raking yesterday.
my
when
wife
the
was
weather
doing that
yeah,
too,
it was
yeah.
like you said, it was that perfect fall day. But I'm sure there's more to be done outside before it gets too crazy.
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
So that'll be it. I'll enjoy
Yeah, we
it.
did that too. What did we do yesterday, though? It wasn't actually blowing or raking. It was like sucking the leaves in and making mulch or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is, Shawn?
Yeah.
Why are you falling asleep?
I'm not.
His
I'm
eyes
lis-
are closed, Nancy.
I'm listening to you.
This is the weirdest
Don't
thing
you ever
ever.
talk? A lot of times when we're talking on the air, I'll have my eyes
Well,
closed.
yeah, because you're boring.
I'm picturing what. Because what? Because
I
what?
said you're boring sometimes.
I'm boring or I'm
All right.
bored?
You're boring sometimes. But here I'm just talking.
So I'm listening to you,
Nancy.
and now I'm boring. I'm
Nance.
listening to you.
Did you hear Nancy?
I heard the mulch, and then we went to Shawn is boring.
Yeah.
Shawn was just sleeping right now.
Shawn explained to you that a lot of times when I talk, I might have my eyes closed.
What is a mulch?
What do I need to? You use it for bedding. You can put it on plant beds. You could put it in your garden.
What does it
You could
do?
use it to dress up.
Good
a
nutrients
plant
in the
bed.
soil.
Yeah,
All
but it also could be used to dress it up. Like if you get a red mulch or a black mulch.
All right.
So
Okay.
sorry.
We
I
good?
love you. I love you. I think.
What?
Who knows?
What?
I said I love you. I said I love you.
This is taking a turn.
Wow, it goes, doesn't it? It goes up. It's just a roller coaster ride.
You should always tell people you love them.
Yes, you should.
You know, I mean, no
Right
matter
in the
what.
middle of a sentence.
Right after you, right after you tell them they're boring.
All right. Well, I didn't mean like that.
What did you mean then?
I meant that sometimes you just need a needle shot up in your butt. Sometimes. You know what?
Shawn, if you're going to
Shawn-
continue, it's only going to get worse.
But I'm just curious where she's going with this.
No, you
'cause
should not. You
Shawn.
should not be curious. You should know better.
So you're saying I should have a needle shot
Sometimes.
up in my buttocks?
Sometimes. You just need it.
But I was listening to you.
I
Do you-
know.
Do you want me to interrupt you? Would that be? What is it you want me to do?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I was listening to you.
All right, how are those roads?
Thought you'd never ask. I'll tell you,
Stop
as a
it.
matter of fact, because we have
92.7 WOBM with Gavin DeGross, 741. So it's hard to believe in these days and times, in these risque times, Sue.
Right.
But there was a time when Twister was considered too racy to even be included in the Sears catalog
What?
because of its undertones.
Wow.
Now the parlor and sometimes bedroom pastime is getting the last laugh. You know why? Because
Tell us.
Twister is one of the newest games to be inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So it made it into the Hall of Fame for toys.
Well, I think
There you
here's
go.
the deal with Twister.
Uh-huh.
It is funny when you wrap your body around other people.
Yeah.
You're bending
I
backwards
was never
over
comfortable
them.
with that game. It was just very,
No?
very invasive. Yeah.
I think, though, at adult parties, you can tend to make it a little bit more racy if you'd like, and maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah, like I would never go to an adult party and play Twister. You know what I mean? Would you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
This is just too much. It's just too, like, climbing all over top. It's just too much. Anyway, by the way, the other toys that made the Hall of Fame this year, the Super Soaker water gun, Sue, and also hand puppets. Do you like hand puppets?
Scary. No.
The hand puppets scare you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not a big
I think I'm
puppet.
more scared of wrapping my body around somebody at a party.
I'm bringing it in. We're going to do Twister
No, I'm
next
not playing
week.
Twister with you. You could, next
Why?
summer.
What are you afraid
next
of?
summer, just having you all over me. Just saying.
I'm bringing it in next week.
Yeah.
Both lie silently still in the dead of the night.
92.7 WOBM. It is Wednesday, November 11th, Veterans Day. The Korean War began June 25th, 1950, when North Korea invaded South Korea, backed by the Soviet Union and China.
Korea is a small country, thousands of miles away. But what is happening there is important to every American. On Sunday, June 25th, communist forces attacked the Republic of Korea. Free nations must be on their guard, more than ever before, against this kind of sneak attack. We are united in detesting communist slavery. We know that the cost of freedom is high, but we are determined to preserve our freedom no matter what the cost.
U.S. casualties, 36,574 dead, 103,284 wounded, 7,926 missing in action, 4,714 prisoners of war.
Heading for Korea, the first amphibious task force since World War II moves swiftly through the Pacific. Under a British-American air umbrella, the Armada arrives off Pohang and the landing craft go in.
Today on Veterans Day, I'm talking with a veteran of the Korean War, my dad.
1951, I was in high school at the time, and a bunch of the guys were in the Navy Reserve at Port Newark, and I said, hey, what the heck, I might as well go in. And then when the Korean War started, I was brought up. Some of the guys I went in Port Newark never did get called up, but I did.
Both of us almost ended up not being here. Not only you, but me as well, because if you aren't here, I'm not here.
Oh, so we had 2 weeks to go. It's a 2-month deal for the basic training. And I had 2 weeks to go, and they gave us a few hours to go on the beach. Beach is when you go into town.
For a little R&R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went on the beach, and we started drinking beer, and I had too many. So when we got back on the bus, I didn't want to get off the bus. And they said, you got to get off the bus. So they brought the shore patrol guys, that's like military police. They bring the shore patrol guys on the bus. So I threw 2 of them out the bus, and then they brought 5 more in, and that was the end of me.
So you end up getting separated from your regular group in boot camp. You get set back 2 weeks.
Yeah. And they put me in this, with a group called 829. It's guys that are mentally and physically messed up. You know, you're only here because you drank too much beer. He says, that ain't nothing new. He said, we all do that. So he says, you're going to be here for a couple of weeks. So anyway, I spent a couple of weeks there. And then I got out of there, and I had to go into a different company to finish my 2 weeks. So I finished my 2 weeks, and I graduated. And a few years later, when I was getting out, I was down in Norfolk, and this guy walks up to me, and he says, hey, Al, how you doing? And I turned around, and there was this guy, Romano, that I went to basic training with. And he says, you're supposed to be dead. I said, what do you mean dead? He said, well, he says, Eddie Fallbrook and those guys from Brooklyn, they all got blown up off the coast of Korea. They had an explosion on the fantail, which is the back of the ship.
So if it wasn't for the incident that happened when you guys were doing a little R&R in boot camp, you would have been off with those guys.
And I'd never been here.
And neither would I.
So I was very lucky.
Little luck of the Irish, so to speak.
I was very lucky. It's the only time I ever drank where I actually benefited by it. Because most of the time you get in trouble.
You were aboard the USS Sanborn, and you talk about a story in the Panama Canal. The heat got real intense there, and they had you have to deal with it. So tell me a little bit about that. That was an interesting story.
Well, they asked for a volunteer to go down in the hole where the ammunition was kept in a storage area about 6 floors down. And how you went down there is like a metal ladder with rails on it, and you climbed down, and there was no lights till you got to the bottom. When you got in this huge room area, storage area, that's where the ammo was kept. And the guys used to send it up on elevators to up to the deck. And then we used them in the anti-aircraft guns and the 5-inch 38, which was on the fantail.
What was the problem? It was the heat? They were worried that this stuff was going to explode?
It was so hot that they were afraid that the water sprinklers wouldn't work, and they could ignite the ammo.
So you go down.
So I went down. I took my clothes off, and the only thing I had on was my underwear. No socks, no nothing. Because you couldn't have anything on you that made a spark. So I volunteered.
You went all the way down.
And I went down there, and I did that, and I checked the sprinklers to make sure they were working, and then I came up. And when I came up, I got a big loud cheer from the crew.
You talk about how the ship went to northern Africa. You guys ended up in the same place that Bogey was, right?
So what do you guys want to do? And they voted on it, and we went to Casablanca. As you remember, Humphrey Bogart made that famous movie, Casablanca. Mm-hmm. We were going down the street, and these guys started coming after us with knives, big, long knives.
Swords.
So there was a cab coming down the street. So I was the last guy in, and just as I got in, a guy took a knife and threw it, and it went just past the window. He was trying to get my camera off my strap. And I got in the cab and we got away. So we don't want to go back to Morocco again.
Out at sea, you ran into some crazy weather aboard the Sanborn.
Yeah,
Talk about the weather.
Well, you see, the ship I was on, it had irregular storage for supplies and boats and stuff, you know? So it wasn't like sleek, like trimmed type of ship. It was like overloaded on one side and too much on one side and not enough on another. And that's how it was. So the ship used to rock from port to starboard, left to right, right to left. And then it would dip down and go into the waves, and the waves would come up over the deck and all the way up to the flying bridge. If you look at the picture there, you see the bridge up above the deck where the captain and the officers maintain the ship. That's where they steer the ship. The coxswain steers the ship and then that kind of stuff. And the waves used to come up and hit that. And it was unbelievable.
How many feet do you think that? How many feet do you think?
It was like a wave of as high as a telephone pole.
Yeah, so at least, 20, 30, 40-foot waves?
Oh, yeah. Huge. Huge.
So as we wrap up today, Veterans Day, what would you like to say to people when they see the Veterans today? Should they make sure they give them a nice thank you?
I recall a year or two ago, I don't wear my hat as much as I should, but I had my Korean hat on, and I went into the shopping center to get some groceries. And this man and woman came up to me while I was checking out at the counter there at the end, And she said, God bless you. And, you know, as you get older, you appreciate what that means, the sacrifice. A lot of times, a lot of guys, including myself, I was never on the mainland in Korea, but I trained a lot of troops aboard our ship in various degrees of military stuff for beach landings and things like that. And somebody has to do it. And I was very lucky. I was lucky that I was in the right place at the right time and able to talk to you today.
After the signing of the armistice in Korea on July 27, 1953, the final artillery shell of the campaign was fired with a rakish gesture by the weary UN troops. A ceasefire had ended armed hostilities that had begun as a test of the free world's firm stand on communist aggression whenever and wherever it occurred on the face of the earth.
This Veterans Day, if you'd like to help out area veterans and their families, please make a donation on our website to Town Square Cares at WOBM.com, helping our veterans and letting them know we support them and all they do. Donate to Town Square Cares at WOBM.com.